I'm Martin Westwell. I'm the Chief Executive of the SACE Board.
David Coltman, I'm the Chief Executive of TAFE SA.
Almost half the students who get their SACE do so with some VET as a part of that. We know there's been some disruption this year, of course, and so David and I wanted to get together and give you some advice and answer some of your questions that you have about VET. This one's from Harry at Sacred Heart College. David, I think this is one for you. What happens if your VET course has a large practical component and a workplace component that you can't complete due to the facilities being closed by COVID-19? Will I still be able to complete my course this year?
So there's been a lot of restrictions in place because of COVID-19, restrictions on workforce and workplaces and how we can deliver the programs. What you can expect in the coming weeks is that TAFE SA and other providers will be getting in contact with you to let you know when and how you can start your assessments and work experience components again.
This question is from Matt from Cabra Dominican College. Thanks, Matt. Matt's undertaking Cert 1 in construction with a plumbing or carpentry focus. To undertake the Cert 2, the prerequisite is a placement within the industry. Yeah. But Matt says he can't get a placement at the moment, so what happens here?
Matt, what you're best to do at the moment is talk to your VET provider about what their options are. With some workplaces less able to take on trainees at the moment, you might start doing the theoretical components of your study first, and your VET provider should be able to help you find a placement or provide a simulated environment in which you can meet the criteria of the work experience components. So talk to your VET provider in the first instance. So I have a question here from Matthew at Hamilton Secondary College, and Matthew asks, he's doing the Cert 2 in kitchen operations, and how will he be able to complete the practical component of the course? As we've been discussing, there have been restrictions on where and when we can deliver some of our courses as a result of the COVID-19. But what I think you'll find, Matthew, in the coming weeks is that we'll be opening up simulated environments so that you're able to continue the practical components of your work and complete the learning in a good time this year.
We've got lots of questions about VET and the ATAR. So from all over the place, Murray Bridge High School, Banksia Park International High School, Xavier College, Jamestown Community School, Hamilton Secondary College, Pembroke and Sacred Heart College. So let me read Nikki from Murray Bridge High School's question as an example. Nikki says that in her early childhood education and care course, she's required to do a number of hours working with babies. And childcare centres are not allowing at the moment access to baby rooms due to their vulnerability. Nikki asks, how will I complete my Certificate 3 in time to use the results in the calculation of the ATAR? So that she can do her uni course starting at the beginning of next year. As I say, lots of questions like that. And what we really want to make sure is that you focus on your learning. We really want you to get these qualifications. Vocational education is really important part of your education. And of course, you want to get that qualification because you want to make sure that the learning that you do is recognised. Now, as far as the SACE is concerned, we want you to continue with that, so focus on the learning. And if it turns out that there are parts of your VET that turn out to be really impossible to do because of the disruption this year, then what we'll do is we'll recognise whatever you were able to do. We've worked with SATAC, and we know that the universities will recognise that as part of the ATAR calculation. But that learning that you're doing within your vocational education and training is really valuable. So press on with that and get as close to the qualification as you can. I think that we're seeing that as the year unfolds, there might be lots of opportunities for you to do some, if not all, of that work placement or some kind of equivalent. David, another one for you from Theberton Senior College. Jaden says, if we're having trouble logging on to the TAFE website to access our online work, what should we do?
Yeah, so Jaden, we have a range of services available to help students who are studying online. If you're having technical difficulties, ring the info line and they'll be able to talk you through and understand the problems that you have and hopefully resolve those really quickly for you. A question here from Michaela from Jamestown Community School. Michaela intends on finishing her Cert 3 in agriculture this year and is planning on using her completed certificate to gain an ATAR as a certificate in her 4 subject. But with training suspended at this time, completing her certificate's unlikely. What arrangements have been put in place to help her get her SACE, but also an ATAR? Look, firstly, from my perspective, things are changing quickly, and so I really suggest that you talk to your vet provider about the opportunities to continue your study. But in terms of the SACE certificate and ATAR?
Yeah, so we all really want to value the learning that you're doing because it's valuable in its own right, and we want you to get that qualification. So there will be some flexibility for you to do that. If it turns out that it really is impossible for you to do some of your course, then what we'll do at the SACE board is we'll recognise the learning that you have done, and SATAC will then use that to calculate an ATAR. So you can see that whether we're TAFE or another training provider, the SACE board, SATAC, all really working together to make sure that you can get the most out of the learning, the training that you're doing at the moment. So stick with that, make the most of the flexibility that's coming, but don't worry if it really turns out to be impossible. We've all got your back. We'll all be working to make sure you can make that transition successfully. Mohammed from Theberton Senior College asks, if we don't have internet at our house, how should we access our course at this time?
So what we've been able to do at TAFE SA in response to this issue, which is an issue for a lot of people, is to set up some student access hubs at a number of our campuses. In metropolitan Adelaide, these are at Regency, Elizabeth, the city and Tonsley, and at a number of campuses across the region, across the state. The student access hubs have all the technology that you'll need to access your course, and some of the technical equipment also that's available. They're open Monday to Friday from 8 till 5, and they're a drop-in. So that's the best way, if you haven't got access to the internet at the moment, to make sure that you continue studying and use those facilities. Spatially distanced course.
I think one of the things we've all found is that things are changing pretty quickly, and we're preparing for the future. We've got all kinds of contingency plans in place, but there's lots of flexibility available to you, and I think we've really found that in the vet system as well, haven't we?
We have, and look, we've got people working together much closer than in the past. Vet providers are working across the board. We're working with SACE, with SATAC, with the universities. But things are looking good in South Australia, and I think that in the coming weeks we'll see more opportunities for completing the work experience components of vet courses, for more connected delivery. So stay focused on your learning. We've got your back.
System shut down.